Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to fully disassemble a BMX bike, and for the demonstration I'm using one of my old bikes that I don't use anymore. So it's not the best looking bike, but all the functions are the same as a normal BMX, so it should work for the demonstration. Okay, the first thing that you're going to need to do is take off the headset, stem, handlebars, fork, this whole front area. And the first thing to do when doing that is take off the headset right here. Just loosen it up. Usually it will be a bolt, but sometimes it will be Allen wrench, sometimes it'll be normal screwdriver, but usually it's a bolt. So just take this off and set that aside. And then the next thing you'll need is an Allen wrench. Okay, I got the Allen wrench right here. And just take this right here and loosen it. And there's the same thing on the other side. Just loosen that as well. And then the whole stem and handlebars should just slide off. Just like that. Okay, then you can just set these aside, but since this is the full disassembly, I'm going to show you how to adjust the handlebars as well. So we'll set that up real quick. Okay, I just put it on the vise real quick just so I could have something to hold it. And there is a little bit of water in this because, like I said, I don't ride this anymore, so I just keep it outside in the rain. But I wouldn't recommend doing that if you had a bike that you really like. So there's usually 4 right here. Just loosen them. You don't need to take them all the way off. Okay, and then if you didn't have this in a vise, this will move. I mean, it will move, but like that, and that's how you adjust the handlebars. What I meant was if you have it out and it's on the bike still, you could just move the handlebars without moving the stem. But that's all you need to adjust the handlebars. Okay, next you're going to be taking off all the bearings and assemblies in the fork, and make sure that you don't lose these because the positioning that they're in is very important. If you for some reason, if all these come out and you have to put them back together, finding the right positioning of each one is really hard. There's like 64 different ways you can put them on because there's so many pieces. So first, just take off the spacers. Again, this will vary between which bike you have, but usually it's generally the same. So just take all these out and remember which way they were in. Okay, and then once you have all the top pieces off, there should still be some bearings in there. Those will usually just stay in there unless they fall out. Then you can just place them back in there. But from here, just lift the frame out of the fork. Just like that. Okay, now I'm just going to set the fork and front wheel off to the side. And then do the same thing with the frame. Okay, then next you come to the seat. Right here you have the seat clamp, which in this case is just one of these twist ones where you don't need any kind of a tool. You just take it off with your hand and then twist it. But the seat clamp on this is basically not functional at all. It doesn't even hold the seat in, but it will with most bikes, like I'm saying. And then, so this is the main part that you're going to need to worry about here. Now, if you have a pivotal seat, this will be a little different because the bolt that you have to loosen will be up here on the top. There will be a little slit in the seat, and you'll have to fold those over and then loosen the bolt, and then it will come out. But in this case, I don't have one of those. So you just loosen this bolt. There's 2 bolts. There's one just like this on the other side, but you only need to loosen one. Even if the other one is as tight as it can be, you can still only loosen one, and it will still come off. Pedals are in the way. But after you loosen this a little bit, you might have to go like this to get it off, but mine's pretty broken in, and it just slides off. And that's that piece. And for the shaft, what you'll have to do is take the clamp and loosen it, which in this case you don't have to do, but then this will just slide out. Okay, next we have the back wheel. Just take this bolt, loosen it. If you have pegs, you'll need to get a socket wrench and an extender, unless they're twist-on pegs. Okay, and I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. There's no difference. Okay, then just loosen them a little more with your fingers. Now this chain is very loose, but if you did have a tighter chain, you'll have to take it off to mess with the wheel. So then just take off the chain. Usually the best thing to do is to take it off on one side over here on the crank, and then just kind of wrap it around, and then over here on the other side take it off. And you want to take the tire off first. That'll just slide out. Then after that you're going to have to take off the crank and pedal. To take off the pedal, you want to have a normal adjustable wrench, but make sure that it's skinny enough to fit in the pedals right here. The one I've been using right here is too thick, so just keep that in mind when you're taking it apart. And also, you don't need to take this pedal off unless you are actually changing the pedals. But to take off each pedal, it's the same thing. So I'll show you how to take off the other pedal first. Okay, so when you have the pedals right here, there should be a little kind of like a bolt thing that twists into the crank arms. So just take the wrench and adjust it onto that. And with these, it's the opposite way. So you twist it to the right, and that will loosen it. And mine, I've been adjusting a lot lately, so they're really loose. With a lot of them, they'll rust in there, and if you don't take care of them really well, and then you'll need to put a lot of force. But I can probably just take this off with my hand. So just finish twisting it, in this case to the right. And that's what you'll get right there. Okay, before I take the rest of the crank off, I'm going to show you how to take the chain off. For the chain, all you'll have to do is find the master link, which on mine is right here. The master link will be a little bit bigger, just like this right here is the master link. And there's a small piece on the top that the rest don't have. That's the part that you have to take off first. So what I do is I take a flathead screwdriver, and right here on the part that clamps open and close, I put it on that and then push it the opposite direction, and it'll fall off. Make sure that you keep that, because you'll need it to bring the rest or take the rest off. And then the next, mine is pretty loose, but a lot of them will be tight. You can just take your screwdriver and put it in there and just pry it off. Like I said, mine's pretty loose, but then just pull the link out of the other piece and take it off. Okay, now we're going to take the crank off. To do this, just get a wrench and adjust it to this piece. And like the pedal, this is also spinning to the right will loosen it. So just adjust it and spin it to the right, and it will come off. From there, just use your fingers unless it's still tight. And just take this off, and that'll just slide through the pedal. And then this will do the same thing. It's a spacer. And then right here, spin it also to the right. Now if yours is really tight, you might need the special tool that actually takes this off. but usually you can just use your finger or a screwdriver or something to loosen it. There are small indents on it that you can use a screwdriver for. Take this off, then slide the bearings off. And then the next part, you just kind of snake this through. And that'll come off. And there will usually be bearings right here on the other side, like that. So when you take it off, just make sure that the balls are facing in.